Before we get into it, I just want to make it clear that I'm happy an event has happened and it's great Roblox is back doing this kind of stuff. This video's purpose is to point out the hunt's flaws and to give constructive criticism and feedback just like Bazooki asked for. Roblox's first event in 4 years is pretty much over now and there's a lot to say about it. The hunt was a 100 game dev hunt where players would go to random games to collect badges to redeem for prizes. There were 6 free unlockable prizes that required up to 95 of 100 games quests to be completed to obtain. The hunt sounded pretty interesting at first and has obviously generated extreme amounts of excitement throughout its duration, but if you want my honest opinion, the hunt was one of the worst Roblox events of all time. In comparison to many of the events Roblox put out in the past, this might have been the most needlessly inflated and boring event of them all. So today, we're going to look at some of the issues that hurt the hunt and how Roblox can improve things for whatever comes next. The early promotions prior to the hunt releasing were a lot of fun and got the community hyped up, but not in the most ideal of ways. First of all, Roblox occasionally teasing the event as if it was going to be an egg hunt is pretty dumb considering it wasn't one. There were multiple instances of Roblox hinting at the hunt being an egg hunt when they definitely would have known it wouldn't be one. Secondly, many of the preview images and videos showed the daily paid accessories rather than the accessories that eventually be the prizes. Some of them even claimed that the paid accessories would be the exclusive items people could unlock. That's borderline false advertising, considering these weren't prizes that could be unlocked and instead had to be bought. Roblox did a great job at hyping up the event, but sometimes doing so in deceptive ways isn't the most ideal practice. Both examples led to a lot of disappointment and will put into question the honesty of future Roblox teasers and promos, especially if the lies and deception continue. The lobby was actually pretty cool and featured a lot of innovations like the leaderboard and checklist to name a couple. But at the same time, that's really all there was to it because there wasn't much effort put into it. It was evidently rushed as it reused a ton of assets from the Innovation Awards and had one of the worst official Roblox builds I've ever seen. It wasn't absolutely horrendous, there just could have been way more to it or more original content along with it. For example, Egg Hunt 2019 had a lot of exclusive content that wasn't anything great, but was at least something brand new for players to experience. It provided users with an entry into a story to help immerse themselves into egg hunting and all of those random games. A story helped make that garbage dev hunt at least feel somewhat connected, and the original content provided something unique to the event. That lobby also featured its own original quests, which again weren't fantastic, but provided users with something new and to get started with. The hunt just had a lobby where you'd look at how you and others were doing and teleport to other games. More original content would have made this event feel more fresh rather than another bland dev hunt with no theme or uniqueness. The lobby could have introduced people to a story that would have given them a more connected vibe rather than just a random collection of games. Original quests could have helped users get started and given them more interest and motivation to experience more of the event. The concept of having different badge level requirements to unlock prizes is acceptable, not in a setting like this. You must join a game, learn how it works, complete the quest, and repeat that 95 times if you wanted to get all of the prizes. That is way too much work and time spent for just 6 prizes, and there's way too much time spent between prizes where you get nothing. The record fast time to get all the prizes was over 17 hours, which in reality is way too long for so few prizes that we'll be talking about more later. All that dead time between receiving anything makes the event feel more like a chore than an adventure or a hunt. For the record speed of 17 hours and 47 minutes, it took on average 2.9 hours to receive each prize, and that's for the record fastest time. I don't have the stats, but I'm going to assume that it takes an average of over 5 hours per prize for the median completion time. About 0.88% of unique users who at the least joined the lobby completed the hunt, with only about 17.25% of them going on to complete the first prize. Those are really low numbers, especially for the first prize, which realistically should be way higher considering it's the easiest one to get. Ideally, each badge should award a prize, much like they have in every other event, or this unlocking format should only appear in a solo game. 82% of visitors not even getting the first prize and 95% not getting the second makes it clear that there wasn't enough to motivate them to continue on. The individual prizes and accessories for the hunt were littered with problems and controversy from before the event even started. The first prize and its gold version were thought to be Arthro only because it didn't fit any standard avatar, but it actually doesn't even work on Arthro. Literally the first unlockable prize of the entire event is virtually unwearable for everybody, which may have contributed to how few people bothered to get it. Both versions of the grand prize crowns are not centered to the wearer's head properly because they're apparently meant to be worn with the hood. The fiery horns on the gold crown partially block your view in first person because of its bizarre positioning. The 700 Robux Vault Thief's hood isn't positioned properly and clips on both R6 and R15 avatars. There were more paid accessories than free ones, with 20 requiring either Robux or real money, and only 8 being free. I get that Roblox needs to recoup the cost of putting together the event, but having over 2 times more paid items, and for so much, makes us all feel like a cash grab. The first edition hunt pin given to developers participating in the event was so poorly made that it's kinda sad. Those retextures that Roblox released daily for too much should have been prizes, as they totally filled the long voids of dead time between earning prizes. Even then, there still should have been more prizes for the amount of work that had to be done, and preferably accessories that fit avatars correctly. And lastly, the developers were given the white banded red top hat as a thank you, although some may consider it as a badge of shame considering its reputation. Every single time there is a dev hunt, we face the same problems, yet Roblox continues doing them and making them bigger every time. There are always a few standout games that put lots of effort into their quest to make the best playing experience for users. And then there are the ones that try to make them overly long to get as much premium payouts as they can, or the broken messes that hardly work. This is a problem with every single dev hunt, and this time around is the worst example because it features 100 games. Massive dev hunts simply cannot be great because not all of the devs are able to create something good or simply don't care to. Realistically, if Roblox wanted to make events as good as they can be, they'd return to the solo game format similar to COWCOW'S 2018. You had one game, one set of mechanics, no jumping around from game to game, and a much simpler and more streamlined experience. Players won't have to deal with the games that are too broken to play or are designed to waste their time so devs can get more premium payouts. One game has always been better and will always be better, so Roblox should be doing that, but they seem completely stuck on doing dev hunts. If that's what they're going to continue doing, then they've got to include less games and do a better job choosing who is involved. COWCOW'S 2019's 42 games was too much, then 2020 had 49, which was too much, and now we're at 100, which is still too much. I made a tweet about how only 5% of accounts that visited the hunt lobby would go on to get the second prize, and many of the replies shared the same theme. A major reason for people quitting was having to deal with so many games and being burned out from having to learn how they worked or playing through bad ones. COWCOW'S 2015 was trash, but it only featured 3 games, which provided a much more streamlined and overall quality event. If Roblox has to do dev hunts, then they should host it in probably like 10 or so games max, with maybe 5 to 6 prizes in each to keep it consistent and simple. The bigger does not always mean the better, and in the case of dev hunts, it boils down to what's simpler and consistent, and 100 game hunts are not that. There were definitely multiple factors to why the hunt didn't live up to the hype, but I feel that there's one common factor that affected everything. I have a strong feeling that this event was very much rushed and put together in a very short amount of time. I don't know that for sure, but there are many signs of it being the case, such as a mostly reused lobby, the lack of prizes, and the sudden influx in leaks. Usually we'd start seeing leaks or hearing things months in advance, but virtually everything for the hunt came in about a 3-week span. I've heard that devs only had around 2 weeks to complete their updates, with some possibly having as low as 1. 2 weeks isn't a whole lot of time to create something big in the development world, so it's not surprising to me that there were so many mid-quests. Evidently some devs were greedy or didn't care, but I feel like the majority of them likely didn't make something great because they only had time to make something that worked. Roblox probably didn't have enough time to create original prizes, which resulted in so few and some of them being broken along with a bunch of easy to make retextures. Almost everything aside from a few quests felt very rushed, and I think that's one of the main reasons why this event sucked. If Roblox truly wants to make a great event that becomes iconic and beloved by users, they should create something like COWCOW'S 2013 or 2018 again. A single streamlined experience where users can go into some immersive story-based adventure to claim prizes alongside other users. Roblox wants to know what their users want in future events, and that's what we want, not more massive dev hunts. Something is better than nothing. But why have stuff like EggHunt 2020 in the hunt when we can have more EggHunt 2013s and 2018s? But if Roblox is to stick to dev hunts, then there are a ton of improvements they should make to make them better for users. Way less games, better quality control, more prizes with maybe multiple prizes per game, and more original content from a lobby are all necessities. We'll see what Roblox does next, but hopefully they use the feedback I and so many others have given to make events great again.